For a long time, scientists have debated when, how and where the first life supposedly evolved. There are various hypotheses, like maybe RNA came first. Perhaps life evolved around hydrothermal vents. Maybe life arrived on an asteroid, but none are satisfying enough due to significant problems with each one. And now an old idea has been revived and refined. Maybe there was a chemical Big Bang and life arose spontaneously in a river with all the major components in place all at once. As this article from New Scientist states, it has long been thought that the ingredients for life came together slowly, bit by bit. Now there is evidence it all happened at once in a chemical Big Bang. The article explains that life requires at the bare minimum 3 core systems: an outer membrane, the ability to metabolize, and the ability to reproduce using genes. Chemical evolutionists have a problem when it comes to trying to explain the origin of life. You need all 3 of these systems at the same time for life to even be imaginable. So scientists have argued over which came first, but now some say all 3 came at the same time. Now that's a pretty fortunate set of circumstances. In other words, it used to be that life evolved so slowly you couldn't see it happening, and now it happened so fast we missed it. Geneticist Dr. Georgia Purdom says of this study, the scientists correctly define what you need for life: something to contain it, a membrane, ability to make and utilize energy, a metabolism, and the ability to reproduce. They've given up on bacteria being the first living organisms because they know how complex even those simplest organisms are. Since none of their other ideas about which came first have panned out, they've decided that all 3 requirements for life must have evolved at once from a Goldilocks chemistry. So just the right molecules interacting under just the right conditions in just the right place led to a living organism. Just like Goldilocks is a fairy tale, so is their idea for the origin of life. All of the research to develop this idea has depended on the scientists adding just the right chemicals in just the right conditions, meaning intelligent design was needed and they still didn't end up with anything living. Life only comes from life, and life only comes from the Creator, God. So, the strongest support for the origin of life story is this: that the alternatives don't work. Maybe that's because life didn't arise by natural processes. Really, their story is nothing more than a just so story, because they have to somehow explain the origin of life without God. They'd rather put their faith in the unbelievable that something as complex as life could just pop into existence than put their faith in the one who made them. And not just anyone, but the only one true God, the Creator God of the Bible. Life shows the fingerprints of the designer. Just consider one of the 3 categories for life: the ability to reproduce using genes. This requires an information system to code the instructions needed to assemble life. And information systems don't just pop into existence. Information only comes from other information and ultimately a mind, in this case the mind of the Creator. Just as information only comes from information and ultimately a mind, so life only comes from life and ultimately a life giver. These researchers studying the incredible complexity of life are without excuse for denying the Creator's existence in Romans 1:20. Thanks for watching everyone, and may you all have a blessed day.